In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how I maintain healthy brain cells to prevent the onset rather of early dementia or Alzheimer's disease. This is what I do on a regular basis to keep my brain cells healthy. And so I want to share those with you today. It's 4 categories that I'm going to be sharing with you today. And if that sounds like something that you're interested in learning or hearing about, stay tuned until the end. So category number 1 is, you already know, you guessed it. Yep, food. Food is the number 1 category that I implement into my daily life, my daily routine, whether it's juice, smoothies, which is what I have right here, or juices. And in case you want to know, before I go any further, I will just share with you what I've made in this smoothie this morning that's delicious. Not only is it delicious, but it has a plethora of vitamins, minerals, enzymes, you name it, is inside this glass right here. So I used coconut water. I used raw collard greens, chlorella powder, which is full of vitamin B12, a lot of the B vitamins that we women, we need. A lot of vitamin C, it's just a plethora of vitamins in here, minerals, enzymes. So and then I used 1 banana, a cup full of blueberries, a handful of peaches, and what else did I put in here? Because sometimes I just make things up when I know it's going to be good. Oh, the hemp seed butter. So that's also full of vitamins and minerals, nutrients, all that. So I blended up all of these greatness. Let's call it greatness. So it's very good, very tasty. So this is one of the ways outside of juice. Juice, of course, you can also add to your regimen, your daily regimen, your weekly regimen, however you want to look at that. And so this is some of the things that we have to think about, like I said, when we are eating our foods, deciding on what type of drinks we want, whether we want coffee in the morning, we can substitute our coffee for green juices and green smoothies if we want some liquids like that. And me and this camera. So that is category number 1. If you want to know more about the different type of recipes for my smoothies and juices, I have plenty of videos that I have already done. You just go in the search bar on my YouTube channel and you can put in there recipes for brain health or hormones or whatever. Put that, I promise you, there's plenty of videos on that. But I wanted to just let you know what was in that smoothie that I made this morning, just so you would know. So that's category number 1. Next category, number 2, is daily activities that I engage in. Now, I talk about how it's important for us to get outside and get some sunshine and take our daily walks. Not only is it important to get outside to take our daily walks, but we need to listen to nature. Nature can alter our mindset and put us in a happy state when we hear the birds chirping, when we see dogs chasing one another, playing. It takes some of us back to when we were kids. We used to play outside, and just enjoy the outdoors and not having to worry about anything. That's why it's important to get yourself outside and, witness nature. Just listen, watch the butterflies, watch the butterflies, watch the butterflies fly if they're in your area. Also, you can watch the birds. The birds are out there flying to whatever destination they want to go to, right? They're not thinking about tomorrow. They're not worried about later on tonight. They're going to always find food. They're going to always find water. They're going to always find community with one another. So we have to get back to those times and enjoy our daily activities. And some of the things that I do, of course, I pray in the mornings. I pray throughout the day. I do focused meditation. And when I say focused meditation, because I want to make sure when I'm meditating, I'm sitting quietly and I'm thinking about the positive things that I want to see happen or transpire in my day, right? And this is every day that I do this, every morning. I do this on purpose, right? And I play word games, and this is not on my phone, right? Which is the next um, thing, the next, not the next category, but the next thing I want to mention. But when I say word games, when I'm in the bathroom, it's probably too much information, TMI, right? When I'm in the bathroom and I'm sitting there, I utilize my time wisely. I don't just waste time in the bathroom if I'm sitting on the toilet, right? I will count, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, and so on, right? This keeps my brain active and motivated and moving in a positive way. Then I look at whatever is in my surrounding area in that bathroom. I might be looking at a Charmin toilet tissue, right? So within that word Charmin, I am finding all of the words that I can find. How many words can I find in Charmin? For instance, arm, am. I know it may sound woo woo, may sound she's weird, but this is how I maintain my healthy brain cells on a daily basis. I do this on a daily basis, right? And so I'm always looking for activities that's going to increase not only my knowledge and wisdom, but increase my healthy brain cells to keep moving. And I walk, like I said, and I look for ways to serve other people. Right? It's not just about me. How can I help someone? How can I serve someone that might be less fortunate than myself? Someone that they may need the door held for them. They having a hard time getting in the door with their groceries or whatever it is, right? So I'm always looking for opportunities where I can serve someone or help someone. This helps me, right? What did I just do? Oh, I just helped that person get in the door. They were struggling with their groceries, like I do sometimes. I'm struggling with my groceries sometimes, and I try to pick up all the bags at once instead of making two trips. So these are small things, but they are really beneficial and can make the difference in your brain health. Also, I make healthy products. I make deodorant. I make lip gloss. I make um, wax for my lip, for my underarms. I make my own, and that's another video. I'll share that with you later. But yeah, so these are the things that I do. I make content, video content, as I'm making now for you. So these are things that make me happy, that bring me joy. What can I do? It's always going to benefit me and other people, not just myself, right? That's why I do what I do. And that is the daily activities that go on in my life. I do reading, I research, right? Those are activities that I find myself doing on a regular basis. No TV, right? In fact, I remember when I was living in Iowa, I had no TV for 3 years, right? And so after I left there, I don't know why I got a TV, because I don't use it. Unless, like I said, I want to see my favorite YouTube channels that I'm learning from on a big screen. And so then I turn on the TV. And then after that, TV's unplugged, off and unplugged, right? And so that's how I choose to keep my brain health cells healthy on a daily basis in my 60s, right? All right, so that was category number 2. Category number 3 is community and connectedness. Community and connectedness. Who are you connected to? Are you connected? Do you have any social connections, right? And this is a struggle for me. Why? Why is social connections a struggle for me? Because I'm an introvert. I consider myself an introvert, right? Which means that I love spending a lot of time alone. And because I'm always doing something, I never get bored. Some people might say I'm alone and I'm lonely. No, I'm not lonely. I love spending time because I have a creative mindset. I'm always trying to create something that's going to help uplift and for the next person, not only myself or my family, but this is what we need. We need community, and we do need social connections. Do I get it? Absolutely, because it's a healthy thing. God didn't put us on this earth for us to just be recluses, right? Be inside our own homes and, just to ourselves. He didn't create us to do that because it's not healthy. But you want to make sure that you are around like-minded people, right? Although I like my own space and I like quiet time, when I do get out in community to socialize and to connect with other people, I do it through traveling. I do it through phone, the phone, when I'm having my phone time, because I'm not on the phone all day. And that's another upcoming video that I'll talk about. And so we have to figure out, how can we connect to people? Because everybody can't do what I do. Everybody is not an introvert. There are a lot of extroverts out there. And if you put an extrovert inside of a space, a closed-in space for too long, they literally could lose their mind. And this is what happened back in 2020. A lot of people found that they could not survive without their connections, their social connections at work, in church, in any live local event. People were losing their minds. And this is very seriously, that we understand who we are as a human being. What is it that's going to make us thrive in this lifestyle, in this lifetime? And we have to know that if we're not the type to be stuck in the house, we have to figure out, how can we create that environment for us to have our healthy mindset, our healthy brains, our healthy cells, right? All right, that was category number 3. Category number 4 is authentic relationships. This is really key for me, because, I grew up, I had best friends for years and years and years, and we were so close that we used to dress alike. I mean, one best friend. I had 2 close friends, but one best friend. And we used to dress alike. We used to walk to school together. We used to do all these things together. We traveled together. And then as I grew older, I started to find out about people, right? You know, it, just things happen. I'll say that. I'll just put it like that. Things happen in life where sometimes you get disconnected from people, or those people that you thought you can trust, right? So you want to make sure, if you're in a relationship, whether it's your girlfriend, whether it's your guy friend, whatever that is, you want to make sure it's authentic. And authentic to me means that someone you can definitely trust, right? Someone that's going to be there with you until the end. If you are thriving, they're with you. If you are shrinking, they're with you. Whether you are rich or poor, they're rich with you. Just like when a couple do their vows, right? Those vows mean a lot, and people take them for granted. They don't remember them after they finish their wedding. They go on about their life and they forget all about it. When someone gets sick, their spouse gets sick, and then, I've heard stories where people have left their spouses because they got an illness, they got sick, right? So we have to think about these relationships and cannot take them for granted. And it's very difficult these days. These relationships are very difficult, especially since 2020. People have changed a lot, and the world has changed a lot. And what I mean by that is, people haven't changed on purpose. Whatever was going on from 2020 up until this date, a lot of things have entered into and out of our lives since 2020. 2020 has left a mark on all of us. 5 years later, we're still talking about 2020, right? So that says it left a hard mark on all of us, right? It affected us, some of us, mentally, spiritually, physically, and intellectually. It affected our finances. It affected our families. So we lost a lot of our friends, whether it was to death or whether it was to untrust, mistrust, we learned a lot about ourselves. I know I did in 2020, right? During that whole time that we were disconnected from each other and from the world. So, this is what I mean by authentic relationships. We must make sure that we are entering into these relationships, hopefully in your 60s, your 50s, your 40s, that either you still can trust your friends that you had from 20, 30, 40 years ago. If not, it's okay to release those friends from your life, right? Because if it's causing you discomfort, discord, disrespect, and all of that, then I think it's time to divorce that friend. I'm not talking about your spouses because I'm not the one to tell you to divorce. I'm talking about friendships, right? Relationships, authentic relationships. Um, and it's just like, for me, I love people. As much as I love people, I still say today that God is my best friend, right? Because why? He's never going to leave me. He's not going to ever forsake me. He's going to give me everything that I want, need, and desire. And how can you not accept God as a friend, your best friend, your closest friend, right? You can go to him any time of the day, night, morning, and spill out what's bothering you, what's not working for you, what you need, what you want. That's awesome. Now, there are people out there who do have friends that they can call authentic relationships, right? And if that's you, share that with me in the comment section below. I want to know how you have maintained and been able to manage your authentic relationships, whether it's one person, two people, or three people over the years. Because I'm sure some of the other viewers want to hear your positive thoughts on that. So leave some comments below. I would love to hear how you've been able to maintain authentic relationships and any of these four categories that you want to share with us in the comment section. Please do that below. And I want to know, how are you maintaining your healthy brain cells in your 60s or your 50s or your 40s? Right? Because I have an audience that's not just over 60, but over 50 and over 40. And I'm grateful for you all because we do want to prevent the onset of these illnesses and these diseases called dementia and Alzheimer's. And this could be another form of inflammation that's plaguing not just your entire body, but also your brain cells. Forgetfulness, brain fog, and all of these are considered brain diseases, right? We altering, I'll say altering, let me say altering, okay? And I also have a video that talks about how to nourish your hormones. So go check out my channel, those videos. So the takeaways, I want to give you 4 takeaways for these categories that I just mentioned to you. All right. So I'm gonna say the categories one more time and then I'll give you the takeaways. So the categories, number 1 was food. What are we feeding ourselves? Food matters, right? Drinks matter. Category number 2 was daily activities. What daily activities are you involved in? Because you need to be involved in some kind of daily activities outside, getting some sun, listening to nature, walking, if you can, right? If you're not able to get outside, walk, and do all those things, you find activities inside your home, all right? Category number 3 was community and social connectedness. Who are you socially connected to that's positive, that's lifting you up, not tearing you down? Because when you have people in your circle, you want to make sure that you are in a circle where people are going to constantly lift you up, build you up, and you can also do the same for them. It is reciprocal, right? It's not a one-sided thing. You want to be in community where you can build up someone else and they can build up you, right? And how do you do that? You just do that by words. One word. Oh, you're so beautiful today, right? Oh, I love your hair, or I love your coat, your jacket is, these are positive things, right? This is what's going to our mind. What we talk, what we speak, that's what happens in our lives, right? So we always want to make sure that we're saying something positive and doing something positive. All right, that was category 3. Category number 4, last one, was authentic relationship. Authentic relationships. Are you in an authentic relationship? If not, you might want to do an audit on that relationship. Check it, see what's happening, and make some changes. All right. So I'm going to give you these 4 takeaways now. Number 1, as we know, was food. So in this category, you want to understand your body language. What is your body telling you? You know how we get hungry and the first thing we think about is food, right? Well, your gut talks to your brain. Your gut and your brain has a relationship, right? Have you ever noticed sometimes when, I don't know if you have, but I have, when you think about beans, making some beans for your dinner or your lunch or whatever, then you might get gas depending on that bean. If that bean is not fit for your gut, then you might want to switch out that bean. You might want to switch black beans to lentils. You might want to switch lentils to chickpeas, right? So you have to know your body. Know your body language. Your body talks to you. Just like it tells you when you're hungry, it talks to you and tells you what your body is missing, right? Am I missing protein? Am I missing some kind of healthy starch? Am I missing vegetables, green vegetables, right? Your body talks to you on a regular basis. All right. So takeaway category number 2 was daily activities. So figure out what keeps your mind alert. How can you keep your mind alert, active, and accessible for you to function at its highest peak? What can you do? What kind of activities can you engage in on a daily basis that's going to keep your brain cells healthy? You want to challenge yourself. I find myself challenging myself a lot, right? I challenge myself on many things because this is a way to tell me whether or not my brain cells are functioning properly, right? I don't want to challenge myself and forget everything I do every time I do it, because that tells me something is not quite right, Renee, right? So that was takeaway number 2. Takeaway number 3 is, when you're in community and social connectedness, ask yourself, who am I connected with, or who can I connect with that has my back and I have their back, right? Because the truth be told, it may no longer be that friend, like I just said, that you've been knowing for 20, 30, or 40 plus years. They either betrayed you, passed away, or they ghosted you altogether. In all of those categories, right? It could be, which category are you in? I'd like to hear from you in the comments. Have you had those friends for 30, 20, 40 years that either ghosted you or betrayed you or passed away, right? Share your comments and help someone in our community here. Maybe they may be inspired or lifted up by your story. So it's not just about this channel, me talking to you. It's also about lifting up other people in the community. Right? So, all right. So that was takeaway number 3. Takeaway number 4, on the authentic relationships, they're really hard to come by. They're really hard to come by. Like I said, in 2020, especially if you're single and you're alone. Now, once again, there's a difference between singleness and being alone and lonely, right? Figure out which one you're in. If you're living single, are you lonely? If you are lonely, you're going to have to figure out, what is it can I do to get myself involved and connected in a authentic community, an authentic relationship, right? Depending on what your lifestyle is like, what you like, what kind of activities do you like, right? And so that's important. We all need authentic relationships. And so, like I said, 2020 changed a lot of things. It changed our minds. It changed how we see one another, right? We are scared to share our space, our place, and we just we don't know. We scared to show our face. We don't come out. Some of us, right? You don't want to come out. You don't want to mingle and mix with people. You don't want to. That's not me, by the way. You don't want to share your place where you live, right? Is it untrust? Did we stop trusting each other, or did what happened in 2020 alter our mindset? Did it alter our mindset? And we need to do a check on that and see why we feel the way that we do 5 years later, right? So this is super important that we understand our body and what's happening. It changed, like I said, it changed our mindset. It changed our physical ability. It changed our financial status, right? Everything has changed. But guess who didn't change? God. God didn't change. So now, fast forward 5 years later, most of our financial statuses are changing, right? Is it due to a fault of our own, or is it due to what's happening in the world, right? We see things happening all around us. People are talking about it everywhere, We no longer are using pennies, right? I was shocked when I went to the store one day, and because I don't look at the news every day. I know how to get my news. I do get my news when I need the news, but I don't sit there and try to look and see what's happening or what's not happening, right? I depend on the Almighty, first of all. And then, I have other places where I get my news, and it needs to be authentic news, not fake news, authentic, right? So we need to be careful where we get our news from, how we're listening to it, how we're trying to implement it in our lives or not, right? So so when I went to the store the other day, and the lady said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I don't have any pennies," because I like to pay cash for stuff, I'm sorry, I don't have any pennies, we're not giving. I said, "That's okay. A penny's not going to break me, right? I'm not going to lose no sleep over not getting a penny back. In fact, I have a lot of pennies that you can have, right?" And so this is, like I said, things are changing rapidly every day, and you already know it, and I know it. So we need to just remember who we are, and where we're going, right? And you have to keep your brain cells healthy, because when you get stressed out, when you worry, and you cannot do anything about it, this is allowing your cells to decline, including your entire body, matter of fact. So worrying about what you have no control of is a setup to allow your brains to decline, which will escalate you into depression. Depression is not good. We know that. Depression it could turn into Alzheimer's. It could turn into dementia. Why? Because we're so focused on what we don't have control over. We can't control our families. We can't control our friends. We can't control what's happening in the world. We can't control it. We can only control what we control in our homes and in our own bodies and in our own minds. You are the controller of your mind outside of God, right? So think about what you're doing every day. Think about what you're saying and get it together, because you have that choice. I hope this video was helpful to you. If it was, and you're not subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. If you liked it and you think you have someone that you know that can benefit from this video, go ahead and share it with them. And then hit the like button. So, and then leave me some comments. If there's any videos or content that you want to see that I have not already uploaded for you, leave that in the comment section below. I had one of my viewers leave a comment and she asked me about a certain video, and I've already made the video. It's coming up. All right. All right. Listen, keep smiling. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care.